Hey everyone, welcome to Stuff Moms Have Time For. My name is Rebecca and today's video is going to be a DIY video of how I thrifted this beat up old table into a really cute little farmhouse table for my kids to play on in the playroom. So this is actually a thrift store challenge, and the challenge was to take an item that you'd thrifted and then make it over. And this challenge is being hosted by Heidi from Happily Thriving Heidi and Jessica from Measure and Mix, and I will link their channels below so you can check them out, as well as the playlist for all of the other people who participated in this challenge. I hope you guys enjoy this one. I love how it came out. It's so cute. My kids are obsessed, and I'll show you guys how I made it now.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you our new table, and I'm going to show you right now.
So this is the original table and chairs. This was actually headed for the garbage until my husband was the one who actually thrifted this item and decided to take it home and show it some love. Now, it has been sitting in our garage for probably 6 months, not being really useful to anybody. Sometimes our kids will play Legos down there when we're working out, but I knew it could find a much more useful purpose in our lives. So I decided to make it over and make it a little bit more of a farmhouse theme. So the first thing we did was just clean up all of the chairs and the table by sanding them. My 5-year-old daughter Tabitha loves helping with projects, so she helped me sand everything. So I'm using a sander to sand the top of this table. There were some really big water stains. Because it is real wood, it went down several layers. So I tried the best that I could to make it as even and clean as possible. And I'm using 120 grit sandpaper to do this job. Once everything was sanded and clean, I decided to do the chairs and then the bottom of the table in a white chalk paint. And then once everything was painted, I did a second coat on the chairs and both the table legs. Then I am going to stain the top of the table a dark espresso color, and some of it was because I wanted to have that high contrast between the tabletop and the legs. And also, not all the stains completely came out, even though I sanded it down pretty far. So I wanted to hide that big water stain in the side of the table. So this was an idea that my husband had. These bolts were really like rusty and kind of gross, and he decided to put them in some Coke for a couple hours and see what happened. And while everything was drying, my husband put a couple coats of polyurethane on the table, and this is high gloss. So a few hours later we came back and we just wiped the bolts clean and they were perfect. So this is probably a public service announcement that Coke is probably not something you should be drinking all the time. If it does this to rusty screws, I don't know what it's doing to your body. My husband then screwed the tabletop back on and everything was done. This came out so nice. I loved that we used a high gloss finish. I think it's just going to stand up and be a little bit more durable. I love the contrast of the dark wood with the white. So originally I put the table in the kitchen just because I thought it was a nice place for the kids to eat breakfast, and pretty much as soon as I put it up there, it was occupied. This is definitely something that they are going to play with for years. I did end up moving it into their playroom because I felt like it fit in there with the wood colors and the white trim, and it was just a place where they could do projects or play. So in total, because I had all the supplies that I needed to do this, and my husband thrifted the table for free because it was going into the garbage, I actually spent no money on this thrift store challenge. I had the paint, I had the stain, I had the polyurethane. All it really took me was the time to do it with my husband, and now my kids have a really nice solid wood table for their playroom. Please subscribe if you like videos like this one, and don't forget to check out the other channels on the playlist and see what projects they came up with. Until next time, I will see you then.